Welcome to Mobile Freedom Enterprise. This is a part one of a review of these 4 amps, which I have I'm testing, and I'm going to sell 2 or 3 of them. I'm only going to keep one. And first we have here the VOX Valvetronics. That's the VT20X. Okay, and we have the Peavy Viper VIP1, the Marshall Code 25, smallest of the bunch, and the Fender Mustang 1. Now, even though the Marshall is the smallest of the bunch, it has the largest speaker. It has a 10-inch speaker. So here we have the Mustang, and you have a this works as a line out as well, emulated line out for recording and headphone jack. You have your auxiliary input, so you can hook up an iPod or anything at all you'd like to hook up and play through it. And you have the USB output to record with your DAW. I use it on Pro Logic X, and it's incredible, really good. We'll talk about those details later. Then you have the this is the effects. Okay, so basically when you go through the sounds, you'll choose a sound, whatever it is. It'll always start off with effects. For you to turn it off, you just have to turn to the right, turn left, shuts them off. You have your save. If you'd like to edit these at all, for example, you can flow through it like this. But then if you'd like to edit the gain on each, or the presence, you have to hold that button, hold the exit key, and you turn the knob. And one will be the for the effects levels, and one's for the presence. Okay, that's what you do with each. Fairly easy. You wouldn't know that unless you read the instruction manual. And then you tap for the, you hold for the tuner, and this will tune. This is really easy to use tuner. It's got the little lights. But then you tap for the speed of, if you see there. Okay, and you have your presets. You have your green, orange, and red presets. So you have the Metal 2000, the Supersonic, American 90s, British 80s, British 60s, Twin Reverb, Bassman, and Deluxe. And the different, there's other videos you can watch on each one of those. That's not what this video is about. But you see, you get from the green, the orange, and red. Okay? Then you have your master control, your bass, treble, there's no mids, your volume, your gain, your input, and your foot switch. Okay? Now let's talk about the DAW. Volume in this, even at the highest levels on your DAW, or I've used, like I said, the Pro Logic X. It's never loud enough. It's never loud enough. The best one out of all of these is the Marshall, because the Marshall has the loudest volume, even at the mid-range to mid-high volume setting, connected to the DAW. So I found I had to use compression and turn the compression all the way up to try to get the most accurate, not accurate, I would say, to say the loudest sound without distorting before you lose the accuracy of the actual effects processing. Because you get into you can distort a little in it, but that's it sounds very digital when you start distorting with the DAW. Okay. So we'll talk about the sounds on the next video. We'll move on to the next amp. Ooh, one other thing I needed to explain is that as soon as you turn it on and you switch from the different effects, I told you that it kicks off with the effects, so you have to turn them off if you want the effects off, and then regulate to a certain point, then it moves to the next effect, and the following one, and the delay and reverb is on here, same thing. And to change the levels of each presence, press that button and turn. I explained that. But what happens is it's always set on with the factory preset. So if you want to change any of this, including turning off the effects. Same thing for the master. You think you'll be on a 8, right? But the effect might actually be on a 4. So you have to turn it and put it where you need to. That happens with each sound: bass, treble, volume, and gain. Now aesthetically, I love the Fender. This has that vintage look with the silver mesh and the old-fashioned Fender. I love this little thing here. I mean, this is really nice. The only thing I disliked about it is the finish here on this. See, dust gets in there. You see this? They finished it right here. Instead of cutting it towards the bottom, for some reason they wrapped it here. Don't know what the deal is, but there, I ruined it already. And I don't use these for shows or anything. This is for people who. This video is for people who are interested in using these for recording, and that's why I've also included in this video, which I didn't explain from the beginning. I will be speaking to you about one of my most trusted effects processors of all, the Line 6, the Pod XT. I've had this for years and it's just phenomenal. But the problem is when you try to use this with a DAW, you lose, we'll talk about that later. Just wanted to show it to you. You don't lose anything, but what you do gain is too much gain. The highs and mids presence are never in the right place, and you spend a lot of time dabbling with the levels to try to get it just right. The good thing about these other digital amps is that as soon as you plug it in, they're perfect. For some reason, this is an older piece of equipment, and the levels were set, I guess, to overperform, and they truly overperform when you're trying to record with this. Anyways, we'll move on to the next amp. Now we'll look at the VIP1. Power button is in the back, and as you can see, if you don't have something plugged in, it'll give you a nice little light show. It's actually Morse code, and there's a code hidden behind those flashing lights. So once you plug in, let's take a look. Let's talk about the aesthetics first. I don't know. Me personally, I think it's kind of cheesy looking. Kind of looks cheap. The Fender looks far more traditional. It just has a better quality feel to it, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll start with this. And what we have over here, we have the, I don't know the name of this USB output, but it's not the standard micro USB, the standard USB. And let's get the focus going here. Using manual focus on the RX100. As some of you would know, the RX100 has a slow focus, so I don't know which one's better now. Anyways, we'll just keep it like this. So we have the master volume, the USB output for DAW, auxiliary in, and the headphones. I tried using the headphones as a line out. It didn't sound too good. It was overpowered. I don't think it's a standard line out. Now this is far more complex to use. So you have your instrument type on the left. That's where you start off. You have electric guitar 1, electric guitar 2, and each one has 3 different effects. You can program it, change them up. Then you have acoustic for C and the bass. And this is the reason why I'd be keeping this one. So I'm actually going to be selling 2 of these and keeping this. It has a very, very good bass emulator. I had purchased a Viper VIP3, I think it was, the large one, the 100-watt version, and that one must have been defective. That must have been defective because this one is flawless. The other one had issues with the sound quality, various issues, and the adjustments of the... But I won't be using this much, just for bass. I don't use any of these much, really. It's once a month that I might record. You can hear my music. Name of my band is 0 Point Giant. It's all over the internet. The website is www. That's ZERO point, the word point, giant .com, and you can find me on iTunes. It's a one-man band. I play all the instruments. But anyways, I haven't used any of these. I've used, what you'll hear on that is the Fender, and a couple of songs you'll hear the Vox. Clear differentiator here are the effects. I try to use very clean sounds. I mean, distortion without effects. The Fender did that much better than the Vox. The Vox is good for straight distortion. It has a better distortion. We'll talk about that in the next video. The Fender does sound more digital, and the Vox that has a little tube valve, that's why they call it a Valvetronic, actually helps it, and it sounds amazing. Really does. One of my favorites, but we'll get into that later. So here are the details. So you have the 4 instrument types, then you have the stomp boxes and instruments. You flip around, you choose one, say phaser, you can click on it, okay, and then as soon as you click on it, you're actually controlling that effect. When you click off, you're on the standard pre-gain, low, mid, and high, and post-gain. That's what you're controlling. When you click on the effect, then you get into the different effects within that, the edit, and then delay, and you can actually save them there as well if you hold that button. Okay, so these are the effects here. Okay, and then the standard effects at the top. So when you click on it, I mean, it's pretty cool. I like it. I personally like it. I just know it's not the easiest thing to use. So then, when you... Yeah, that's not the way to do it. Anyways. So, then you have... So that's the stomp boxes, and here you have the amplifiers. On the amplifiers, you can switch through them as well. And you go through the different levels. Just like the Fender, you have your red, your green, and your orange. The green is the cleanest, orange is the next level, and red is the highest gain. Even though you have your gains over here, pre and post gains. Good thing about the pre and post gain, if you want to sound like a real, it's almost like a tube amp. When you have your pre gain all the way up, your post gain down, and you turn your volume down, you get the clean on the guitar. Turn your volume down on the guitar, you have a clean sound. You can manipulate it if you're on stage. I wouldn't know about that because I'm never used these on stage. So, and that's basically it. Now when you push and hold, press and hold it, you're using the tuner. Okay. And let's see, that's about it. The acoustic guitar sounds are fabulous. You have some keyboard sounds that sound really, you just got to play string by string, note by note. It's not very accurate. We'll talk about that when we get to the next video. So now and this has an 8-inch, it's the biggest cabinet of all, the heaviest, and has a tiny little 8-inch speaker. And it's open back. This is the only one of the 4 with the open back. Some people like the open back sound. I personally, for these small amplifiers, the closed back is far more effective. You get a deeper, thumping, powerful bass sound, bass frequency. Open back is great when you're talking about 100 watts. Adds to the energy level of the speaker and how the sound is distributed. Not necessary with these, so, but that's just my opinion. So we'll move on to the Vox. Now here we are with the Vox. Just like the Fender, it's got this vintage look with the mesh. Don't like the Vox here. This Little line going through. Looks cheap. I don't know why they didn't just make it traditional without that. The line looks like it's holding up the plastic in the front, like it's necessary. Would have been nicer without that. And it's got the Valvetronic and the little sign at the bottom. And let's take a look. Now this takes a while to turn on. I don't know if they do this on purpose, but the sound will take maybe about 30 seconds before it starts working. I'm sure they claim it's the actual tube. You'll see a little tube in there. They'll claim it's the actual tube trying to warming up. Which I don't know if that's actually the case, but it just adds to the whole vintage feel of the old amps that take time to warm up. So anyways, let's take a look. Ease of use on the Fender on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd say a 3 or 4. 3 being very standard, okay. The Peavy 2 or 1, you really got to study it and learn it and use it daily to fully understand how to use it. The VOX is a 4 because it's basically all here right in front of you. You have a lot more knobs, and you know, I like choosing your sounds. On this setup, for some reason, with a black background, the gold lettering, it just gives you it's just a warmer, fuzzier feeling from the inside, where I would just feel more apt to using this one, not just because of the sound quality, because the sound quality, in my opinion, is far better. You know, the 6505s and the XXX and the Buddha amps on the Peavy sound phenomenal, because that's what they do. That's a Peavy amp. That's all I would use that for. But when you want a true rock, not a heavy metal sound, and you want a rock distortion, you know, 70s, 80s type distortions that aren't heavy metal related, this is one of my favorite amps. The Fender is great if you're playing jazz or blues, does that very well, but its distortions they do sound a bit fake at times. You can hear they crackle. It's the digital quality that runs that, and that's why I stay away from the Fender. I just use that mostly when I want something with effects. Something that does very well. Or edit it. But I'll show you in the next video. Something I use a lot on that one because of that one effect. Does it really well, does it better than all of these. So here we have the VOX VT20X, and you have your foot switch, your input, your aux in, which I never have used on any of these, but we will test it to see which one has the best sound quality. All depends on the speaker, because when you hook up actually we'll do that in this video, we'll do it quickly. And then you have the headphone jack. Try to use this as a line out. Works okay, not bad. The one that does the best job with that is the Fender. But it has your USB, but it's not for DAW. Very stupid. Why would they do that? I have no idea. Hopefully there'll be an update or something on this amp which will let it work with a DAW. So what I had to do is go out from here into the Fender on the input and out again. So I'd have to have the Fender on clean. It's hard to find a clean sound on that, by the way. It's not. They don't have a ready, accessible, clean sound. You got to turn everything. It's a pain in the butt just to get clean from that. Until you save one. So I saved one of the sounds, clean as can get, and then this has to go through there to go to your DAW. So anyways, here you have your amp models. Same thing, green. Okay, it's like a yellow. It's green, yellow, and red. And you have your different sounds. Scroll through them. You have your user programs that you can save here. Press and hold for save, just like a car stereo when you want to hold save a station. And you have your gains. Same thing, when you go through the different sounds, it'll be preset with all the effects. So you have to go in there and change the volumes, the bass, to whatever you like, and play with it. Your power level, volume, gains. You have your value here on the effects. You have compression, flanger, your 3 pedal sets. Your 2 pedals actually, and the reverbs. So you have your pedal 1 is compression, chorus, overdrive, and distortion. Distortion is over the top. Yeah? See, mi amor? All right, mi amor. Awesome. Okay. Because I'm recording. That's awesome, man. Give me 5. Good job. Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully I'll have time to edit that. If not, I apologize. A lot of jerks out there will complain. There's so many jerks out there. Why is it that, you know, there's so many jerks out there that have to comment. You know, and I'm the kind of guy, I will not delete your comments, so I welcome all the jerks. For lack of a better word. To leave your comments about how dissatisfied you are with a video. Listen, this is my personal video. It's for me and people, that there are people out there like me who will enjoy my video because it's my opinion, my point of view, and the way I present. If you don't like it, you know, if I don't like a video, I would never spend my precious time commenting on how bad I thought the video was. The only people that do that are truly, truly very sad people. And if all of you would just commit suicide, do the rest of the world a favor. Anyways, it doesn't bother me, so I welcome you, because I'd rather them let out their negativity with someone like me who doesn't take anything personal, and they just want to share, and we can go back and forth and argue. That's fun. I enjoy that. I really do. Yes. Careful, Mimo.
I done my medicine.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so awesome, Mimo. Give me 5. I love you so much.
I can like you.
Yeah? Awesome, Mimo.
I got 6.
Did 6 today? Oh my God.
I got 6 today.
6 cups. That's good. He's drinking Pedialyte. Is it Pedialyte or Pedialyte? What's it called?
What?
Pedia what? Pedialyte?
Pediasure.
Pediasure. Yeah, because we just don't think he eats enough. Anyways, so it has vitamins and minerals. Do that in another video if you want. But anyways, so here we have the effects. The same feature to tap for the speed. You press and hold for the tuner. It's got the little lights that go back and forth. That's nice. I like that. So you have your value 1, okay, which is you also control your noise reduction sensitivity, which is your noise gate from here. And there's a way of doing it. I did it once and set it for all the sounds, but I love noise gate. I love when you don't have that noise in between the sounds. Some people like that. So here you have your 2 values for the effects, and we'll look at that on the next video. What else to tell you? Yeah, very, very disappointed with the USB out. Why wouldn't you be able to control your DAW? It's silly. What that is for the you get a program that you can download from the VOX website, and you can download sound. It's really cool because people have, I don't know if the company did or people actually, users created their sounds. Like you have your Alex Lifeson, your Van Halen, different guitarists out there and their sound, and you can just download the sound and boom, there it is. Pretty nice. I haven't used it really much. I like my own sound. Oh, great. Battery exhausted. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Had to switch cameras. The RX 100 battery died because the battery doesn't last long, and my backup wasn't charged either. Because this is unprepared. Any of this, completely unprepared, and that's. I apologize in advance, but it's all the time I have, and I love making these videos. So, all right, yeah, we were at the VOX. Let's get a close-up of this. You know, a lot of times I search for videos because I really want to look at the details of each amp, and no video really has the details of what, you know, it would look like to look at the actual camera. I mean, the actual camera, the actual product. So here we are. Let's take a look. You know, if you're ordering on eBay, this will help. You see all the details. Very bad tripod. Very cheap. Take a look at the effects. Let's turn this on. I unplugged it because we were moving it around. Let's bring in the other amp. That's nice, you know. In my opinion, the guitars and amps and everything we use daily in music, especially because we're artists, has to look nice. It has to be pleasurable. It has to give you that look and feel that you personally just like to spend time with daily. See, I love that. See the fact that they have a tube in there and have this blue light surrounding it. It's awesome. It just gives it this powerful feel to it, like it's actually doing something. I think it's just a gimmick. Not really. I really don't think so, because the sounds are just amazing on this amp. You know what? Let's leave that for this video as well. Let me just hook up a guitar just so you have an idea. We'll go back to the Fender. On another video, what I want to do is spend a little time and just connect it through the DAW and give you direct comparisons, one after the other. I'm just going to hook this up just for a second, just so you can hear. These are really loud. Sounds really loud. I have another video where I tested it against the Fender and the VOX. Doesn't sound at all digital. Single coil there. And that's the British. Oh, one thing I forgot to talk about. is the bias shift. I don't know if you can tell the difference. I can't tell any difference. Yeah, I mean, I think you can. It's a little bit heavier, the bias in red. Okay, now let's go to the Fender real quick. I mean, it just sounds beautiful. And volume's all the way down. I mean, there's really nothing there. Haven't touched the gain or anything, so it's, if I turn this all the way up, this would just get feedback. It's just awesome. Awesome amp. Okay, since we were oh my god, I can't talk. Since we were on the topic of the sound, the quality of distortion, we'll start with that on the Marshall, and then we'll move on to the details. But this is my favorite amp, probably the one I'm going to keep. I don't need the other ones except the Peavy for the bass. But I could use the sounds from the DAW on the bass guitar as well. I'm going to do a video on that to see which is best. The door open, babe?
Yes, it's open.
Excuse me. You see that on YouTube?
How do you know it's open? How do you know?
I'm just asking. That's why
How do you know that?
I'm asking a question.
How would you ask me a question? Like, what triggers it?
You're on video, so the world can hear
What
that.
triggers it?
Hey, because you always leave the door open. I don't know. It was just a question. It was just a question. Is the door open? That's all. Unreal. It's the woman I have to deal with every single day. That's a JMT. Oh, the cool thing is, depends on where you left it when you last played. That's where it stays. Doesn't reset itself. Love that. But this is, we'll talk about how easy it is to use. Let's just get to the sound. Something, I created a sound here. See how clean that sounds? Clean meaning it sounds like a true tube. I think I was referring to that tube in the VOX as a valve, because it says Valvetronics on it. But yeah, it's a little tube in the VOX. There's no tubes in here, but it sure sounds like it. Huh? It's mine. Is that, I'm recording right now. the metal sound on this one. Preset sounds, many more than all the other amps. Let's try this overdrive. Okay, let's get to the features. To make sure it wasn't the Bluetooth, I'm going to go back to the Marshall through the direct line and test it out this way. Same song. Barely turn this up. See the highs? You notice the highs? Yeah, it's definitely not the Bluetooth, just the speaker. So now we'll go to the Fender. Here's the Peavey. We'll go to the Fender last instead of due to the location. Same guitar. I forgot to tell you there's a bass emulator here as well. So if you go to there's the bass emulator. I'm using a guitar. this amp, hard to control, and the bass sounds terrible. Don't recommend it for bass at all. I mean, a bass guitar through here sounds phenomenal, and I'll show you that in a second, but not a guitar as a bass. Full bypass, go to the Buddha. This is how everything comes standard on the amp. How bad that sounds? I haven't touched anything, just going through the presets. That's the twin, that was the Buddha, 6505, 534. That feedback you're not going to get with any guitar. This is because I have added magnets to these. Actually, let me get the other guitar, standard Bassman. Hold on. Yeah, this is the Music Man. Do you see what I mean? That very annoying crackly sound. Maybe it's on purpose. You know, remember I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I'm an artist. I really don't play guitar. You can hear my music on line. It's 0-point giant. Enough of that. So as you can see, the Peavey has, if you're into that sound, I'm not into it at all. It's the bass going through the Peavey, what it's really all about for me. It does a great job, and great for DAW. if you want a great bass sound, go into your DAW. That's the one to go with. But here's the Fender and its distortion. I gotta tune that, but anyways. When you get to the sound, you're gonna turn off the effects. You have to manipulate those, turn them off. You see, this is much like the Peavey in that you can hear the digital quality of the distortion. Sounds like when you take two different distortion boxes, stomp boxes, and they put them through a crate. Some people like that. I really don't like it. Something the Peavey does really well: the high pitch, the tone, the treble. Might be the speaker. That's one thing I'm going to do is get a different speaker for my favorite one. Here's probably the Marshall. Rolling off the volume to get clean. You see, this sounds good for blues. See the quality of distortion? That's what I want you to notice. Metal 2000. Probably one of the better distortions on here. You see the difference? The VOX sounds amazing. Let's move on to the best of the bunch, the Marshall. And I predict the best one will be the VOX. You know this well. Same thing, straight line in, you can't adjust any of the sound quality. show you without changing the video. I'm going to connect to the stereo system. Oops. And you'll see how much clearer that same song sounds. See, if this would sound that clear on all frequencies, on high frequencies, mid-ranges and highs through these speakers, these amps would sound much better. I don't know if that's done on purpose or it's done because they're cheap, but we'll test the Vox out finally because I think that one would sound the best. Just have a feeling, it just sounds like it has a tweeter in it. So I'll just reiterate what I'm saying. Is if I'm going to keep, let's say, the Marshall, I know for a fact that when you go through the headphone output or to the DAW, you have better quality sounding guitar. And that's because when you have it on the speaker isn't the same, isn't the highest quality it could be. There are no highs. They're not crystal clear highs as you would have on the headphone jack or through the DAW. So here's same song on the Vox. Let's rewind it so you hear it in the same location.
Get it with a Doritos Locos taco?
Same thing. There you hardly even hear the hi-hat. Very muddy. You can hardly hear the guitar. That's the Fender, by the way. would have sounded so much better on the Marshall. That's already out. That's in iTunes. 0 Point Giant, something from nothing. That's what it was named because I don't know anything about music. Just picked up all the instruments, started on the bass, drums, and then added upon that. And I got something from nothing. Anyways, yeah, none of them really have crystal clear highs, so I'd love to take a really good two-way speaker, put it into one of these cabinets, and tested that. I think I'm going to do that for another video. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. We'll delve into other details and comparing them at loud volumes for people that like to use this, who need to use it on stage, and that sort of thing. Thanks for watching. This has been Mobile Freedom Enterprise with the 4 digital amp comparison, the VOX, Peavey, Marshall, and Fender. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.